That concludes our business meeting. I will move us into commissioner reports. Who would like to go first?
Me.
Okay.
And are
You got it.
Are you, in your report, going to talk about last week? If so, I will skip it.
I can.
Okay.
Sure.
And I just have a written statement that I'd like to read. And then, Zach, if you would like my statement, I will give you this copy, okay?
Yes, sir.
Over the course of the past 7 months, a few citizens of Klamath County have called into question my eligibility to serve as Klamath County Commissioner. They cite the Oregon Constitution as the foundation of their argument, but fail to comprehend and or cite the Oregon Tort Act and fail to articulate how their argument is rational or justified. I have attempted to ignore their rhetoric, but recently their inaccurate comments have made their way to our community through a local news source. I'm going to provide facts as they pertain to this situation so everyone is fully aware and has the opportunity to understand the truth. Fact number 1. Several years ago, a civil suit was filed against the City of Klamath Falls. I and 4 other individuals were named in the lawsuit. At the time, I was serving our community as the Chief of Police for the City of Klamath Falls, and my involvement in the suit was based upon my position as the Chief of Police. Litigation is still pending, and we are currently awaiting trial. Fact number 2. The Oregon Constitution, Article 2, Section 11, titled, "When collector or holder of public monies ineligible to office," states the following, quote, "No person who may be hereafter be a collector or holder of public monies shall be eligible to any office of trust or profit until he shall have accounted for and paid over according to law all sums which he may be liable," end quote. Again, this is the basis for their argument that I am ineligible to serve as county commissioner. Allow me to clearly articulate how this argument is flawed. Fact number 3. Oregon Revised Statute 30.285, titled, "Public body shall indemnify public officers," states the following, quote, subsection 1. "The governing body of any public body shall defend, save harmless, and indemnify all of its officers, employees, and agents, whether elective or appointive, against any tort claim or demand, whether groundless or otherwise, arising out of an alleged act or omission occurring in the performance of duty," end quote. I want to talk about 3 points in that statement. They are defend, save harmless, and indemnify. According to Merriam-Webster, the following definitions are provided for those words. Defend. Defend means, quote, "to drive away danger or attack," and, quote, "to maintain or support in the face of argument or hostile criticism." Save harmless, also known as hold harmless, is defined as, quote, "of, relating to, or being an agreement between parties in which one assumes the potential liability for injury that may arise from a situation and thus relieves the other of liability," end quote. And further, indemnify is defined as, quote, "to secure against hurt, loss, or damage," end quote. Fact number 4. On May 12, 2022, Mark P. Williamson, a supervisor with City County Insurance Services, provided the following statement via a letter written to me. Quote, "Dear Mr. David Henslee, this will acknowledge that you are a named defendant in the above captioned lawsuit. This matter was referred to us for coverage under your City County Insurance Services Trust Liability Coverage Agreement. This agreement provides insurance for general liability, law enforcement liability, public officials liability, and auto liability. This letter will confirm that you are covered for any actions under this lawsuit. You have no personal financial exposure for events outlined in this complaint. We have retained attorney Kenny Montoya to represent you in this matter at no charge to you. Please feel free to share this information at your own discretion. If you or any persons you are doing business with have any questions, please do not hesitate to contact me." End quote. I will conclude by being perfectly clear. I have no personal financial exposure to a pending civil suit, and there is no legal basis for any argument that I am ineligible to serve as your Klamath County Commissioner. Thank you to everyone that has contacted me to express your frustration in these senseless and inaccurate attacks, and provided me with your continued trust and support. I pray this issue is now concluded, so I may focus my time and energy in the betterment of our county. Please have a wonderful Christmas. God bless you all, and have a blessed New Year.
Thank you, Commissioner. Commissioner DeGroot.
Very well said. Very difficult to follow. So let me see what I can do with that. Yeah, I turned that up. So well said. I would just add, it's sometimes frustrating in our positions when you have, as you mentioned, rhetoric that to just be what I call nonsense, and to sit up here and just be quiet and listen to it. But that's sometimes part of the job. It's difficult to me, not necessarily when the same gentleman comes up and keeps spewing such nonsense, but then asking to be the replacement when he clearly was not the choice of our community. Most frustrating is when people start listening to such nonsense and coming up and joining him, and you feel bad for the folks that have been led astray, and the kind of discontent that spreads throughout portions of our community. I just don't understand how you get there. It's as in these positions, there's nonsense lawsuits that get filed against the Board of County Commissioners all the time. And when I say all the time, I mean all the time. If that was the case and there was any basis for his gibberish, nobody would ever be able to serve in office. Ever. I mean, it's just, I'm sorry that you've had to go through that. It's been frustrating to watch. And hopefully he finds something better to do with his time, because it's just ridiculous.